Welcome to another episode of Metal Medical. Today we have another awesome episode. We have a special episode. We have a solo episode where it's my first year of podcasting and the year is coming to an end. It's my birthday today at the time I'm recording this at 11:18 p.m. right now. It's 11:18 p.m. right now and it's still my birthday. So I wanted to record this and do like birthday and then the year reflections. Um, so yeah, I want to share the 12 lessons I've learned this year with podcasting and life and experiences and all of that. So the first one is kind of funny, it was an interesting experience, especially in the beginning of the year. And the first one is do a cold plunge to help you with any out in my case it's a breakup, but it could literally be anything with when you're feeling down, when you're sad, like take a cold shower, go do a plunge. When I did it, it was kind of like by accident. It was my family. My brothers wanted to go to this park where they had, I want to say it was like a waterfall and it was tiny, but the water was really, really cold. And they wanted to go and jump in there. And mind you, they know how to swim. I didn't. I did not know how to swim, but they're like, "Oh, you should do it. You should do it. Why not?" And I was like, "I don't know how to swim." And I was like, "It's okay. Like, if anything happens, we'll like save you." But my parents didn't know or like forgot or didn't heard when I said that I didn't know how to swim. So the point is that I ended up jumping the because it was like a little hill to not yeah like a hill. I'll try to see if I could put a picture over here or check out my social medias and maybe I'll try to post it there in my stories when this comes out. But the the water was really cold and it was like a whole shock. I didn't know how to swim, so I was like dying, trying to like go up the thing again, like up the water, up into like the air or wherever. Like pretty much like me trying not to like drown. And it was scary at the moment, but then like after that, I just kind of like everything just cleared mentally. Like the thoughts that I was thinking, the like thinking about my ex and all that kind of just like went away, and I was just more like chill, more relaxed, and it was a very, very interesting experience. Like, and I do want to say that it did not last like forever or like weeks and months, but it definitely helped clarify things and have more clarity. And then thankfully I also went to Mexico like the week after. So that also helped with like trying to deal with a breakup and distract myself. But that would be like the first one, the funny one that maybe not all of us can think of, or is like that's a weird advice. Why are you saying that? But honestly, it helped me, and it was a kind of like a funny story to tell now, and experience that where I learned a lot. So hopefully it helps you too. And let me know if you try out a cold plunge or a cold shower. The second one is do things with fear. Like it doesn't matter, do it with fear. And if you don't know how to do something, it's okay, you're gonna figure it out. And there was this quote that I heard or I that I read, and I don't know if it's from the book the Your Ego is the Biggest Enemy or something like that, or the second book that I'm reading, it's How to Make Friends and Influence People or something like that from Dale Carnegie. I don't remember from which one I saw it, but there was this quote where it would pretty much explain that where like whatever, do things even if you don't know how, whatever stage you're in, and just like keep doing. And that's exactly what we have to do. Like everything is figure outable, how Marie Forleo says it, and her book, and how her book says it as well. So just do the thing. And from all the podcasts, the 34 podcasts that I've done, many of them say like just do the thing, just do it. And so the lessons, the advice is very repetitive, so why not follow it? Just do it, hazlo. And if you're scared, take your fear with you. And if you don't know how to do it, figure it out. There's Google, there's YouTube, there's I don't think the episode has come out yet, but Sophie Castillo, she mentioned how, and she didn't know the art, what she had to do with being an artist, like putting out her music, how to record, how to produce. But YouTube was her friend. Like YouTube helped her out, and she was able to figure out. Now she has amazing songs, and if you haven't listened to it, go check it out. But and listen to Cassandra too. She's another artist, and go check out her episode, which is like towards the beginning. But I can't wait to have another episode with her and Sophie. But going back to number two, so just do it with fear, with angustia, with anxiety, because that's gonna help you get out of your comfort zone. And the more we get out of our comfort zone, the better we're gonna do. The more we're just gonna get used to it. And there's this, I think it's like something hedonic adaptation or something like that, where our level of happiness kind of like we do something and then it's like, oh, this is really good and this is where I wanted to be. But then you get used to that level and it's just like you want to achieve something else. And so once you start getting used to, like for me, it was a podcast. Like I was super, super scared of doing podcasts in the beginning. And like now it's like I'm still scared, but it's not as much as it was in the first or second episode compared to now my 34th episode. So just do the thing. And yeah, number three is you have to be congruent with your actions, your thoughts, your beliefs, because it's super, super important. And that's another thing I've been learning with the podcast and the people I've interviewed, and I think the biggest one within that is you have to believe in yourself. So that of course includes your thoughts. So what are you telling yourself? What do you believe about yourself? Do you believe you are deserving of success? Do you believe you're going to achieve these things that you say you want to achieve, right? So this is going to help you be aligned, and then the universe, God, whoever or whatever you believe in, it's going to help you attract what you want. And of course, it's not just the thoughts, it's the actions as well. But again, everything has to be aligned, everything has to be congruent, and your actions is really going to help you believe what you want to become, if that makes sense. So it's like the action, and then it's like because you're doing the action, it's the thought, and it could also be vice versa, but it's whatever helps you. But as long as you're doing both the thoughts and the actions and the emotions, like how you're feeling, it's gonna be a game changer, and something I'm still working on. Like all these things I'm gonna be mentioning, I'm still working on, and but it's just a reminder for me and for you that it's like we got to be congruent. Our thoughts, our emotions, and our actions are super, super important, and it's what's gonna help us achieve what we want to achieve. All right. And then number four is your mind is gonna try to sabotage, especially in the beginning. And there's this quote I heard from, uh, I want to say Price Prickett, but he did an episode with Lewis House in his podcast, and one of my favorite quotes that he mentioned was, "If you're going to doubt something, doubt your limits." And I was like, because how true is it? Like how crazy is it that we doubt so many things? How we doubt what we can accomplish, our potential, our intelligence, our confidence, our skills, our abilities, our talents. But we would never doubt. We never doubt our limits. We never know, like, oh, maybe I can actually do this because of this, that, and all the things I've accomplished in my past, you know? So that really, really, that has really helped me kind of like keep on going. And like when an intrusive thought comes in, it's like, no, this is actually what it is. And trust me, it is hard, and I'm still working on it. I'm still in the beginning stages of this whole process, but it's a repetitive thing, and at some point it's like the compound effect. At some point you're gonna start believing the beliefs that you want to believe, and that are already true. We just, our minds just wants to sabotage us and keep us in that keep us on that comfort level and in our comfort zone. And we're not about that. If you're watching this and yeah, if you're watching this or listening to this, like you already want change. You already want, you could feel the potential that you have, the life that you want is is possible, the opportunities that you want. And there's just that tingly sensation where it's like, no, there's something more. And it's like, why not me? Why can't I have the life that I desire? Right. And so our minds are gonna try to sabotage, but we already know, and we might try to go back for a bit, but we're gonna be reminded of like, no, there's something more out there, something that I can actually accomplish and I can achieve and live the life that I want and create my own reality. And then you're gonna start going back to, it's gonna be a back and forth, trust me. But and I'm still there, and it's the crazy part because I already know that that the things that I want is possible, the opportunities that I want are possible. But estoy in that back and forth. But again, working with my thoughts, trying to be congruent and aligned. I'm working on it, and I'm just excited for next year, really, because right now I've been doing the work, yeah, I've been doing trying to do the work, and there's those lows and highs, lows and highs, but at the end of the day, I'm working on those thoughts. So I hope you're doing it too, and I'm just excited for all of us, especially if you're in this beginning stage with me. I'm proud of you if you're listening to this, or if you just like watch a clip or something. Like, I am proud of you, and let's keep going. All right, so number 5 is stop acting like a non-playable character. This one I watched, or I found out about this one, or the term non-playable character, from this YouTube channel that my brother listens to, and he was asking people questions of like what were their biggest regrets, and they weren't able to really express what regrets they had. So he realized that a lot of people here are non-playable characters where they don't reflect on the things that on their past mistakes or lessons, or what they want to do with their life, type of thing. And it's like, okay, I actually regret doing this. And so that was very interesting. And I was like, am I a non-playable character? Am I acting like a non-playable character? And honestly, I don't think so, at least not anymore, or not as much as maybe a few years ago. I'm definitely more reflective, more conscious. I could probably reflect more and learn more from my mistakes. But if you think you're a non-playable character, if you're just being an autopilot and you're not thinking about your goals, you're not planning a few months ahead, if you're not working on your habits, if you're not working on your health, all these stuff that are going to help you or help us have a better foundation on living a good lifestyle, so it could help us with the goals that we want to achieve, then we you really, 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 really have to really reflect on this. Like, am I living the life that I want? Am I on autopilot? Am I just living my life day to day, or am I actually planning on doing something with my life? So that was a very interesting one, and a lesson of like, we really got to be conscious and present on the things that we're doing, because like, even like now, it feels like there's like these actually, I think I will say that I'm like sometimes a non-playable character where I just see time like going back. Like, I wake up, I go to work, I eat, exercise, and then go to sleep. And it's usually like that. And I very conscious on the time where I wake up, like, okay, I'm up. But then when I go to sleep, it's like, damn, like it's already night. Like, I'm already going to sleep, and it's gonna be next day, and I'm just gonna wake up, and it's gonna be the same thing all over again. So we really gotta be careful not to go back to the old routines and keep on working on habits, on the things that we want to do, on the projects, on this podcast that I am falling in love with even more. Maybe in the beginning it was a bit more of like, okay, I need to do something, but I've met amazing individuals, and and just being able to talk with people that are doing something and just inspiring me, and then telling me like telling me that I have potential, or you're doing great things, and thank you for allowing me to share my story. Those things, in a way, it kind of boosts your ego, but at the same time, it's it's like, wow, like that's amazing that you feel that way. And I don't know, it just feels really, really nice. And it's something I didn't have before, and it kind of gives it some purpose. And then it's like, what if I'm actually impacting somebody or influencing someone or inspire someone, even with like a small clip, like whatever it is, it's nice to know that you can make an impact on someone and you kind of have a purpose. But I'm going a bit off tangent, and so let's go to number 6. So number 6 is kind of like, I feel like it's all interconnected, but number 6 is start breaking patterns. And this includes like your own patterns, like your own beliefs about yourself, and then patterns with like family, relationships, uh, what is it, work situations, all that, generational patterns, trauma, all of that. Because this influences us influences us so much. And the episode that came out yesterday from the no the episode that's coming out tomorrow from the day I'm recording this, we talk about biodescodificación. It is in Spanish, but the gist of it is that our emotions can manifest into diseases, enfermedades. Is that how you translate diseases? But the point is that if we don't identify and work on our emotions and being able to deal with them, then it can lead into a disease or a sickness. And it could be from anemia to a cancer, a tumor, from, I don't know, headaches is one of the things that we talked about, cold hands, uh, literally anything, like any disease or sickness that you could think of, like it could be, one of the causes can be from the emotions that you're not dealing with. So that one's like super, super important. And let's see, one of the things I wrote was that we gotta look for resources, especially when we start identifying them. Usually we don't know how to do things the healthy way, and so we kind of like get frustrated. I'm like, okay, I identify this feeling, I identify the trauma, I know the root cause of it. What now? So it's really also about like looking for resources and what actions can I take to learn how to deal with this. And of course there's podcasts, there's books, there's therapy. And so try to identify and then look for resources and ask for help if needed. All right. So, and then just one key thing is start taking action. I think that's the main thing. At least for me, one of the things I struggled with was that I would take in a lot of information. I'm like, okay, all of these videos, Fede Broca, this personal development book, healing and numerology and all of that, but I never really took anything into and I never implemented anything. I just listen, and of course it helped because it helped kind of like remind me that things can be different and we need to work on this. But I never really took action, and that's something I really, really wished I would have done, and that would have been one of my regrets. And that's one of my regrets. But we live and we learn, and as long as we don't commit the same mistake. And this year, I definitely try to take more action, especially with mindset stuff. And it really has helped reinforce um reinforce that I am it really helped me reinforce that I'm deserving of a lot of things, and I just got to work on it and be consistent with things, which is actually not we're not there yet, but it's one of the lessons that I learned. So we have 6, we have number 7. So 7 is we have to learn to have tough conversations, and this kind of relates with like patterns, but I wanted to have this one as a separate one because it's something that I'm dealing with like literally right now, like even like today. It's it's really hard for me to have a tough conversation, especially it's something I've been avoiding for the past month and a half. But it's very liberating when you do have that tough conversation, and you and you And it's not you being defensive or blaming somebody. It's like, no, this is how I feel, and let me know what you think. Like, how do you feel as well? And then we could start working things out. And the funny thing, and it kind of goes back with the past ones, like look for resources, because we had the tough conversation and we understand each other's perspective now. And I'm talking specifically about my mom. We had this conversation, but it's like now what do we do? So that was like kind of like that was kind of funny. So now we have to like see how, with the problem that we have, how can we start sanándolo, how can we start healing and all of that. And of course it's going to be a work in progress, and an episode is going to come out next week from the time I'm recording this with Yazrid. She talks about this, so definitely go check out her episode. But and I'll stay there so you guys could go watch it. But let's continue to the next one. So we were number 7. We have to learn how to have tough conversations. So number 8 is do things with the right intention. And this is something I've been hearing a lot from um the individuals I've interviewed, and it's the intention behind the things that you do is super super important. And of course I've heard this 100 times in videos that I've watched, but again, implementation is key in what you're doing. And intention really matters because it goes with alignment and being congruent with what you're doing. And it really helps with the energy if you're like into that, like the energy. um it helps you attract the things that you want, and you just have more fun with the things that with the thing or things that you're doing, the project that you're working on. For example, even like right now with my social media and my TikTok, the I still can't figure out what to post, how to post it, when to post it, just because there's so many ideas. But I've been putting out some dancing videos, and it's me embarrassing myself, but I really really enjoy like just watching myself dance and just laughing and like listening to the music like Duranguense. And I was about to sing, but you guys don't you guys don't want to hear me sing. And it's just the right intention, and I'm just having fun with it, enjoying the process, just editing and like, trying to figure out if this music goes with that or not. And even if it doesn't, just putting it out there and like making the mistakes, you know. And that the maybe I could add more with with having the right intention, but I think it's very kind of self-explanatory. And you guys could go watch so many videos, or if you want a video about that specifically, let me know and I'll find someone who knows more and who can explain this more properly than I'm doing right now. But let's move on to what's the next one, number 9. So number 9 is something I mentioned already, but it's like being number 9 is being consistent. And this goes with the compound effect. Like, I started the podcast on March. My first episode, March 1st. My first and second episode, March 1st. And tomorrow, December 19th, I'm gonna make 34 it's gonna the 34th episode is gonna come out. It might not seem like a lot. I could understand that it may not seem like a lot, but for me, it's a lot. You know, it's crazy that just 9 months ago I had 0 episodes, I had no podcast, and now I have 34 episodes, 32 with amazing individuals who I've learned so much. And it's just crazy to hear the story, listen to the story, and see where they came from, what they've had to deal with, the obstacles, and then the amazing, amazing things that they're doing and the achievements that they've had. It's just inspiring, really. And I'm super, super grateful that all of these individuals helped me and trusted me and accepted my invitation from a random stranger with a cold email. We're like, oh, would you like to do an interview with me? You know, stuff like that. And probably in the beginning it was like a terrible email. And even now I'm still working on like emails, and I keep forgetting to like send thank you emails, which if you're watching this, any of my past guests, I am eternally, eternally grateful for you accepting my invitation, for you trusting a stranger and sharing your story and being vulnerable with me and listening to me when I had to speak and all of these things and and sorry that I keep saying but it's just inspiring and and it helps me believe in myself and hopefully those who are listening, those who are watching, believe in themselves as well. And this is really what the podcast is about. Like me lo merezco and tú te lo mereces and everybody se lo merece. And we just gotta start believing in ourselves. And that's really the one of the main goals of this podcast. There's another like projects I'm coming up with in for the podcast, but that's for later. But for now, it's just like we want to hear the stories of these amazing individuals, especially people of color, Latinas, Latinos, you know, share our voices, take up space, and showing that there's so many people out there who are making it and are living the life that they want, creating their own reality. So whew. All right, awesome. So we were in number 9, which was being consistent. I don't know how I ended up there, but be consistent, do the thing. And again, because we're working on the mindset, we're working on the actions, all of this is going to be aligned. And being consistent is just going to be kind of like default because you already know your intention, you already know your purpose, you already know why, you know your why, and you know que te lo mereces. Even if you're like faking it till you become it type of thing in the beginning, you already know. We just gotta work on the actions on our thoughts. So be consistent, remember the compound effect, and remember my example is I have 34 episodes now, which it's freaking amazing. All right. Number 10. Number 10 is do it ugly. Do it ugly. That's pretty self-explanatory, and you could see so many examples in my social media with the content that I've shared. Like there's some horrible horrible videos in there, and like sometimes one of the things I really struggle with is the putting putting the video with matching where it matches a song. That's really been a struggle for me. I don't know why. I don't know how people do it. Where like, oh, this is a good song for this video type of thing. Maybe they plan it beforehand, but even like that, I don't think I could plan a video, or maybe I need to try more, but plan a video with the song already being chosen or the sound. But just do it ugly, and the podcast is also a prime example, just because you could from the beginning in the first few episodes, I probably struggled with asking questions, or even when I wanted to talk, me struggling to keep it afloat, or being flowy. Like even like now I'm still struggling, and so they're ugly. And like right now I could probably tell you how many from in Spotify for each episode. I get about like 10 listeners, and then I give it now with the most recent one. I only got 3 plays, 3. So you know, like people don't care, and at some point they are gonna care because like, oh, Sherry, I they're gonna be like, oh, she got so lucky because she got really big, or now she's like very popular, or one of the best podcasts or whatever, you know. But right now we're in the beginning, and people don't care what you have to say. Like the highest one was November 27, was 17 plays. That's my highest one. So, you know, there's really no excuses, because if you say, oh, what are people gonna say? People aren't saying nothing. Like like if people care, like they will be commenting on my podcast clips like, oh, this sucks or whatever. I watched it and like blah blah blah, terrible comments. But they don't care. They're just scrolling, and I'm just learning from amazing individuals who are doing something with their lives. So, really ask yourself that, like, am I gaining more? Will I gain more from what I want to do, or would I gain less if I didn't do it because I care about what people think? I don't know if my question makes sense, but I think you got the gist of it. And yeah, so do it ugly, do it, just do it ugly. That's all I gotta say, really. Oof, we are in number 11, and I just remember that it's actually supposed to be 12 lessons. But number 11 is you never know who you can impact. Today's my birthday, and my cousin came from Mexico a month and a half ago or something like that, and she wrote me a letter or a card, really. I won't show the words, but she made this card for me, and it was, don't tell her, but it made me tear up. And let me read to you. It's in Spanish. I'm gonna try to translate. Let's see. I think here. Whew. And I'll say it in Spanish and then I'll try to translate it. But it says, nadie como mis padres y hermanos han marcado tanto en mí la palabra cambio como tú lo hiciste. So it translates to nobody, not even like my parents or my brothers or like sister, have like marked the word change or have made a difference with the word change like you did or something like that. Sorry, my translation is not that great either. And then it says, eres una inspiración para mí y quiero llegar tan lejos como tú lo estás haciendo. Mis ánimos de cambiar mis malos hábitos se alimentaron gracias a ti y lo único que puedo decir es gracias, Andy. And so it translates to, you're an inspiration for me, and I want to get as far as you're doing right now. My wanting to change my bad habits, my bad habits are kind of like nurtured, or kind of, yeah, kind of like nurtured thanks to you. And the only thing I can say is thank you, Andy. Like, thank you. That's my nickname is Andy. So like that should like made me tear up, because you never know who you're impacting, and it's crazy because I didn't even realize, like, I'm just here doing my podcast. Like, I think the last week of November I had 5 or 6 episodes to record, and I told her and my mom, like, oh, you guys can't make noise because I'm gonna be recording and all of that. And for me, it's like, oh, what are they gonna say? Like, oh, they're gonna hear what I have to talk about. But for them, it's like wow, like Andy's like recording, she's talking with some important person, and like she's doing her thing and getting out of her comfort zone and doing things scared. And we tend to not think about these things. We tend to think about ourselves, like, oh, what are people gonna think? Or, oh, I'm so freaking scared. But it's like, oh, you're inspiring other people, you're inspiring your family, you're inspiring your cousin who just came recently. And like, man, that really, really made me tear up and made me like realize and be appreciative of the things that I'm doing, and not take that for granted, really. So it's like a mosquito. But that was really nice of her, and I really appreciate it. And we there's a lot of things I have to work on, but this really, really helped me, and this really helped me out, and I really want to do better and help her out more, and know that I could be doing more, and trying to help her out and being successful and having a good foundation, and not having to do things alone, because that's something I had to do. And I think that will be my 12th lesson, is that you're gonna have to, and at some point in your journey, you're gonna have to do things alone, and that's okay. I mean, you might have some cheerleaders, you might have your family, but at the end of the day, you're gonna have to do things alone, especially if you're doing something for the first time that no one in your family has done, and you're gonna have to figure things out, and how to. For me, it's like how to set up a podcast. What mic do I need? Do I need headphones? What's the essentials? Do I just need my computer and a microphone and Zoom? Is that all I need? Yes. What else do I need? Do I need to send emails? Do I need to make phone calls? No phone calls? Okay, let me send some cold emails. If they reply, if not, that's fine. I probably, like, these 10 months, from just these 2 months, from October, November, I've done probably like 80 emails. And then these past eight, 8 months, let's say, I probably sent over 200 emails, something like that. I haven't done the math. Maybe I'll leave the number somewhere here so you know how much I've sent. But we're gonna get a lot of rejections. We're gonna have to deal with that rejections ourselves. And it's that's part of the journey, just enjoying the process. Oh, actually, that was I just remember that was one of them. It's just enjoying the moments, enjoy the process, enjoy the little things, enjoy the ordinary, because right now I'm making this podcast and I don't even know if I'm gonna put it up, but in a few years someone's gonna listen to this like, oh, this was Andrea, like literally a few years making a fool of herself. Like she doesn't even know what she's talking about. And then 5 years, like I have 10,000, 100,000 downloads and 100,000 listeners, and I'm doing tours, and stuff like that. And it's like I was super scared of, but now it's like this is where I am now, and it's completely different. And people are gonna say like, oh, you inspired me to do this and you inspired me to do that, or I was really motivated from this conversation that you had with this person, but right now it's just me in my room with my somewhat unmade bed and my Yeti microphone and my JBL headphones that are starting not to work because they have like this noise, and then I wasn't able to work with my other headphones, my new headphones that my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful friends gave to me as a gift. I wasn't able to figure out how to if it was working or not, so I wasn't able to use them. So there's so many things that we gotta figure out, and we could get mad, but it's like, no, we gotta enjoy the moment. And these past few days, I think I've really been trying to do that a bit more, especially like driving. Like even today, my birthday, I think because I've been doing the work, today my birthday, it was like raining in the morning, it was super dark, but I it usually takes me 15 to 20 minutes to get to my job in the morning. But today, green lights the whole way, the whole way, green lights, and barely any cars. I was able to go at my own pace. I was jamming to music, Optimistas, Somos Instantes by Coloncho, and then some Duranguense, Bachata, stuff like that to get into the mood. And it's like everything was just smooth. It just went smooth, and I was conscious and present about that moment and realizing like I got a green light. There's another green light. I really like this feeling of green lights. You know, so enjoying the small moments, and just being appreciative of the ordinary moments, that nostalgia that we tend to have. It's and this will be like a plug-in for one of the episodes that I did. We talked about nostalgia with Danielle, I believe, I in one of the 20 something episodes. But I think the title of it now, I might change it later, is how to deal with uncomfortableness. But go listen to it. That was a really, really, really beautiful episode. I learned so much, and I can't wait to have him back. But we talk about nostalgia, and it's like sometimes we're like, oh, I wish that moment could happen again, or I wish I could talk to that person again, or oh, I remember when I did this with this person, and it was just the most beautiful moment ever. We tend to think about this stuff, and but then at that moment we weren't present and conscious about that moment. So we gotta remind ourselves to enjoy the moment, enjoy the process, be present, enjoy the moment now. Like even like right now, this is an episode where I'm probably gonna have nostalgia just watching it back because I have no idea what I'm saying. I'm just saying it, and I have like my notes here, but there's more stuff coming out of it. These are just like bullet points. So I'm gonna look at this. I'm gonna look back at this like, oh, Andre, what were you saying? Like you were so wrong about this, or you could have said this instead. But I'm living the moment. I am inspired. I am inspired. I'm grateful. I'm appreciative. I probably this is like my first birthday where I've actually enjoyed, and there was really nothing extraordinary. It was a very basic day. I was in my bed for a while, but just like the morning, and then like right now before I took a shower, my mom dedicated a song to me, and we were like dancing, like this like quinceañera style type of thing, and I was trying not to cry, but I'm appreciative of those moments, and I'm super grateful that I'm able to recognize them and allow myself to be happy. And I know it's not gonna be always, like even like today, while I was in bed, it was, bad thoughts, or not like bad thoughts, like really bad, but just like thinking about something where like I shouldn't be carrying. But then remember, like, oh, my mom dedicated this song to me. Like, I got green lights in the morning. My friends wished me happy birthday. My friends bought me freaking headphones that, like, like they didn't have to, and I'm just grateful. And it reminds me, it reminds me how lucky I am, and I'm super grateful that I'm able to do this podcast and share my story, or start sharing my story. And I know there's a lot of things I have to work on and could work on, and but again, I'm enjoying the moment. I'm seeing the person that I'm becoming, and it's just amazing because I'm excited for next year. I forgot to bring my water bottle, but I'm excited for next year and the things that are gonna come, the opportunities. Right now I'm not in the place that I would love to be. I'm working as a substitute teacher with $15 an hour, but next year could be different. Next year is gonna be different, and I'm excited for that. And I hope if you're listening to this, or if you're not, but somehow you end up watching this like years later, just know that sí se puede, que te lo mereces, que todo lo que tú deseas is gonna happen. And you just gotta work on it. You just gotta be consistent. You gotta do the cold plunges. You gotta do things with fear. You're gonna figure things out. You're gonna be alone at some point, but it's part of the journey. You just gotta be congruent. You gotta work on your actions, your thoughts, your emotions. Your mind's gonna try to sabotage you, but don't listen to it, or do listen to it. And then it's like no, you lo regañas. Like, no, this is not how it is. I know my worth. I know I deserve this. Sé que lo merezco, and I'm gonna keep working towards my goal, towards the life that I want to live. Even if I don't get there, I don't freaking care. As long as I know I live intentional and with purpose, and wanting to help other people in whatever I did or do. It doesn't matter, no matter how many identities or how many shifts or pivots I do in my career or professional life, it doesn't matter. And again, just being consistent, remembering the compound effect. And if you're going to doubt something, doubt your limits, and do things with the right intention, have those tough conversations, start breaking patterns, confrontate a tu mamá. Like, if you have a bad relationship, or if there's something that you don't want your mom to keep repeating, it's like no, this is enough. I'm setting my boundaries. This is how it is. This is why I feel like this. Having that tough conversation, and not being defensive about it, but expressing your opinion. um don't be a non-playable character, be the protagonist of your own life. Reflect, meditate, look at resources, identify the emotions so that they don't manifest into sicknesses or diseases. Do it ugly. Like this video, the lighting is horrible. It's 12 a.m. right now, and I am with the worst lighting in my room. The light keeps going back and forth, but I was inspired, and I wanted to do this video on my birthday, and especially because I might not have time this week, because it's gonna end up being this type of lighting, because I work in the mornings as a substitute teacher. So my mornings where good lighting is happening, it's not available. So do it ugly, and you never know who you could impact. So do it. Do the thing. Just do it. And go listen to all the episodes I've released with these amazing individuals. At the end of each episode, they talk about their achievements, and they give you advice, either advice, consejos, strategies, an actionable step, or a pep talk. So go listen to it, even if it's just those last 5 minutes, because it's gonna help you. It's helped me. And just listening to the words as if they were like just telling it to me, it is motivating. And maybe that's another thing, and I'm going off tangent again, but don't depend too much on motivation. Like, discipline is key. And I think another thing is that we gotta redefine discipline. Like discipline is not bad. Do it with enthusiasm. Like if you really love, and this is kind of controversial. Like I'm going on a tangent. I'm sorry, but there's this thing where I heard like discipline is different. Is different in the sense that if you do it with enthusiasm, the things that you gotta do, you're just gonna do it, and in a way that's gonna be discipline. But for me, in my experience, like even doing this podcast was a big struggle throughout the year on me being consistent, releasing videos, sending emails. I wasn't enthusiastic about it in those terms of the admin work, you could say. I enjoyed and I love the conversations, even with that I was also very, very scared. But my curiosity or just being able to speak with them, I had the opportunity that was motivating enough for me to keep going. And so just I forgot what I was talking about, but do the thing, do it ugly. And again, I that was the you never know who you could inspire. So just do it. And even if it's nobody, like you inspire yourself. And this episode is really for me. This is my birthday gift for myself. And if nobody watches, it's fine. I'm doing it with the intention of like I'm gonna look back at this episode and it's like, oh, you actually could have added this, you could have added this lesson. And maybe it's like very childish, I don't know, but or not professional enough. I'm like, you're 23, you should be doing better. But this is just coming out of my heart, and sometimes I don't express how I feel, so just going on tangents is fine for me. And I'm in the beginning stages, so nobody's gonna listen to this. And if they do, then I'm super, super grateful for you who listen to at the end. But the intention is I'm doing this with love, with gratitude, with appreciation, because it's my first year podcasting, my first birthday where I actually enjoyed and felt different and feel like next year is gonna be different. And then and with my birthday and then just with the year in itself, I've had so many experiences, good and bad, that have taught me something, no matter what. And just me keeping the promises that I tell myself, even just like, okay, you're gonna at least put out an episode every week by the end of the year, and at least do 36 episodes. Like my goal is there, and that's the promise that I made to myself, and I'm keeping it. And I'm celebrating my first year. I'm celebrating my turning third birthday this whole month with just like talking good to myself and putting out more content on clips and social media and all of that. But whew, I my last words to end this video, to end this beautiful, beautiful podcast episode, is that for that person who's watching or listening, I am grateful for you. And I want to say that I'll be, how do I say this? I want to say that you deserve this. Te lo mereces. And I'm not saying this just because to motivate you. Like, no, 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 no. Like, te lo mereces because of so many factors. But te lo mereces, I'll say the main reason por qué te lo mereces. I'm like trying to put like my words together, but but te lo mereces porque we grew up, or I'm generalizing, or maybe even speaking from my experience, but or maybe like as first gens or as people who are trying to break patterns and do things differently, we didn't grow up having the role models that we wish we had. We didn't grow up with family members doing what they were passionate about. We didn't grow up with parents that had a healthy work and life balance, or again, just living their dreams and having to sacrifice their dreams for us, for their kids, and growing up and seeing all of that, seeing the sacrifices, seeing the work that they had to put up with, the bad attitudes from their boss, the bad attitudes from coworkers, the the daily routine that was always the same, the drinking, the trying to avoid our emotions, avoiding avoiding thinking of like what's possible. Is this really just my life? Is this gonna be my life for the next 20 years? You know, we grow up seeing that, and because of that, that creates a lot of beliefs of what's possible, of what we believe about ourselves, trauma, beliefs, our families, our families' beliefs is also very influential, of course. So we have to break a lot of patterns, and so maybe the one who's listening, maybe that's you breaking the patterns, pero and por eso te lo mereces, because you're you're breaking those patterns. You're doing the work, and you're inspiring others. And maybe that's not the reason. I don't know, but I think for me that's the reason que te lo mereces. You deserve to live the life that you want. You deserve to make decisions that are going to influence and co-create the reality that you want. So I'm excited for you. I'm excited for us. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I need to go to sleep and go to work tomorrow, but te lo mereces, lo merecemos. Say it with me, me lo merezco. This has been an amazing, amazing year. When I look back at it, and hopefully when you look back at your year, has been amazing. It has been an amazing year with all our lows and our highs, and our lows, 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 and our highs, and the lows, 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 and highs again. At the end of the day, it's been an amazing year, and I'm super grateful for everyone who has listened to an episode, who has left a review, who has left a comment on YouTube, for my family who supports this, for my family who's been watching my episodes, for my friends who I love so much, for my cousins, which are part of my family. So I love you guys, and I'm super grateful. Go listen to the episodes, go leave a review, go watch this on YouTube. And I don't know, make sure you set your goals for next year. Make sure you plan, make sure you are intentional with the things that you want to do. And if you need help or you want to talk, let me know and I'll help you out. I'll be some type of guidance, or if I could redirect you with somebody and that could actually help you more, then that will be my gift to you. So enjoy the holidays, enjoy the new year, and nuestros proyectos, nuestras metas, they're coming true. They're coming true as long as we work on it and we're congruent with our things. We got this. And remember, just do it, do the thing, hazlo porque te lo mereces. And say it again, me lo merezco.